I'd like to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Thursday, November 13th, 2025. Roll call attendance, please, Craig.
Chairman Milligan?
Here.
Board Member Holly?
Here.
Board Member Lyons?
Yes.
Board Member DeWitt?
Here. At this point, I'd like to invite Mr. Cook to join the board as an alternate. Agenda item number 3, consideration for approval of the October 16th, 2025 meeting minutes as printed.
So moved.
Call vote.
Get support. Support it, Joe. Support.
Roll call vote.
Board Member DeWitt?
Yes.
Board Member Lyons?
Yes.
Board Member Holly?
Yes.
Board Member Cook?
Yes.
Chairman Milligan?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right, agenda item number 4. This is a general public comment section, not the public hearing, which is agenda item number 5. If anyone has any. Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, a public hearing. A request filed by Josh, I'm going to butcher the last name, Newmeyer? Awesome. To construct an addition with a 5-foot 4-inch side west yard setback, requesting a variance from zoning ordinance section 9.150. The parcel is described as parcel number 700309300062, commonly known as 17623 Dogwood Drive. Please come up and use the microphone and tell us a bit about what you're looking to do.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Newmeyer. I am Josh's wife. We are looking to put an addition onto our home. We love the area. We have been here since 2013, and our family is growing, and so we need a little bit more space. And so the way that the house sits on the property line, it is going to make construction extremely expensive and difficult if we had to follow the 10-foot variance with the property line. And so we are requesting, based on the recommendations from the person who constructed our building plans, to have that variance for that ordinance, please.
I have a few questions. You had mentioned a builder. Do you have plans from a builder? I didn't see them in the application.
We submitted it with the layout.
So I see the layout right here. It
Right.
has a polygon on the back, but you say there's other plans in the application?
There was, and it was, I believe it was online as well. It was kind of like
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Did you employ your builder to determine what the variance setback would be? The number on the map is very precise. It says the smallest setback would be 5'4". Did you determine that just from the mapping tool, or did somebody survey your property?
he had come out and actually did the measurements. It was not surveyed.
Okay.
no.
So I'm just going to read something from Ottawa County. So Ottawa County hosts the GIS mapping application. That's this application right here with the numbers on it. I reached out and just said, we've had other citizens submit applications like this that have measurements on it. And so my question was to him, his name is Shane Pavlak. I said, how accurate are these lines with respect to the imagery behind it? So you have your house and you have the outline of your garage and your residence. And he responded and said, the lines are approximate and you should always consult a licensed land surveyor for precise boundaries. And this isn't a substitute for legal or survey guide boundary information. The lines could be off between anywhere from, a couple feet to right on. So one of my questions and concerns would be, if the lines aren't exactly representative of the property line, your setback of 5'4", it could be more or it could be less. So I'm just throwing that out there for what it's worth. I've only been on the ZBA serving a handful of times. The applications we have received, to the best of my knowledge, they have something from a surveyor or some different schematic like you have here that have a third party verify what the actual setback is.
Okay.
You also mentioned that it would be expensive for you to construct the addition in a manner that meets the existing 10-foot setback requirement. Are you able to elaborate on exactly what would make it more expensive?
The person, so we consulted with a couple of different people who are in the construction business, and they had indicated that with the angles that are associated with the way that our line goes, that it actually makes like the subunit and determining and constructing the angles in the way that it needed to be done, it could be upwards of $150,000 extra dollars just by having to do those weird angles to be able to accommodate that 10-foot from what we understand to be our property line.
Thank you. Yeah, it sounds like you've done your due diligence. Obviously, it's probably cheaper just to do a square room like you have it designed instead of something that's kind of cookie cutter just to meet a zoning setback. One more question from me before I'm probably done with questions, but have you spoken to the property owner, I guess to your north, about this and gotten any feedback?
We have. I don't know if you want to. Yeah, I guess to the west.
That
'cause-
would be 17635 is the address shown here.
So the guy with the duplex.
I think so.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Talk about your-
Yes, and he didn't have a problem with this at all. I actually tried to buy the property behind him, so we didn't have to go through this. And we came down here and asked, and supposedly the duplexes have to have X amount of square feet, so they would not allow us to buy that property.
And
Okay.
The property that, the actual yard piece of the property where we would be closer to our property line is all wooded area that he can't necessarily develop or that would hinder our neighbors in any way.
Thank you.
I have a question for Craig. On the map, okay, so 10 feet on the map, there's an area that's 8'5". Why are we only looking at the 5 foot?
The
Not that it
5'4",
matters.
the 5'4" is the minimum that they can go.
Okay, I was thinking it was 10 feet. That's why we're here.
So the 5'4" is they can't exceed that
Okay,
minimum.
but the 8'5" they can exceed with your approval?
It's covered under the 5.4.
Okay, got you. They can have anything, I got it.
Craig, what would be the minimum setback required if this were an accessory building as opposed to an addition to the home?
It would have to be 10 feet from the house and 3 feet from the side property line.
3 feet. Okay, thank you.
Mike?
No, I think it's a reasonable request.
Thank you.
Dave and Heather, you guys are both good? Good.
Yes.
Well, it's like 7:09. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Prior to moving on to agenda item number 6, I will read the report, which if I'm correct, looks different now. Correct, Craig? Doesn't have the horizon? All right. I'll read this into the record here.
You guys will sit down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
17623 Dogwood Drive is located in the RG2 zone district south of the Leppings Plaza. The request is to construct an addition on the south side of the house and connect the house and garage. The RG2 zone district requires 10-foot side yard setbacks. Southern portion of the area, which contains the address and the parcel number, was combined with the parcel and with the house in 2012. Standards for granting of variance. No variance in the provisions or requirements of this ordinance shall be authorized by the Zoning Board of Appeals unless it is found from the evidence that all of the following conditions exist. 1, that compliance with the zoning ordinance would result in practical difficulties due to exceptional, extraordinary, or unique characteristics or conditions of the land or parcel, such as exceptional narrowness or of the width or depth of a lot or parcel, or an irregular shape. B, exceptional natural or topographic features located on the lot or parcel, such as steep slopes, water, existing significant trees, or other unique or extreme physical conditions of the land. C, extraordinary location of an existing building or structure allows no other practical or feasible location for expansion because of exceptional features of the land. D, other exceptional or extraordinary dimensional conditions or characteristics of the land, lot, or parcel. Comment. The house is located on the property to be perpendicular to the street, and the side property lines runs a true north-south direction. Proposed addition continues in the existing westerly foundation line in a straight line nearing the west side property line. Standard is met. That the unusual circumstances do not apply to most other lots or parcels in the same manner or to the same extent to other lots or parcels in the same zoning district. The Newmar parcel is narrower than the parcels between 174th Avenue and Grandview Drive. The location of the garage is unique. The standard is met. The variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right. The possibility of increased financial return shall not of itself be deemed sufficient to warrant a variance. The applicant has stated that the need to expand living space for their family, although there will be an increase in the value of the property with the addition, there are costs that will offset the financial gain. The standard is met. The granting of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent and nearby land uses and properties. The proposed addition will not impact the adjacent properties as the addition is behind the rear foundation of the property to the west, and the adjacent property is heavily wooded. The standard is met. That the applicant shall not have created the problem for which the variance is being sought. The applicant did not construct the house or the garage. One may argue that the applicant is creating the problem for the variance with the proposal or proposed addition. However, it appears that the addition is reasonable. This is the board member's discretion on whether the standard is met. That the granting of the variance will not be contrary to the public interest and that the spirit of this ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, and substantial justice done for both the applicant and other property owners in the district. The proposed addition ought not to impact the adjacent property owners, and there are no impact on public safety. The standard is met. It appears 5 of the 6 standards can be met, and the board will need to determine if the 6th standard is met. If the ZBA agrees all standards have been met, the motion could reference the findings in this report. If the ZBA disagrees and believes the standards have not been met, the ZBA must develop its own findings to deny the variance. Attached is a worksheet that can be used to develop the ZBA findings.
Your Honor, I'd make a motion we approve the request pending a survey of the property line to confirm that we're 5 feet 4 inches off the property line. Obviously, they're creating a problem for their request. However, due to the layout of the house on the property, I think it's a perfectly reasonable request.
Having inspected the property on Wednesday afternoon, I would be inclined to support Mr. DeWitt's motion.
Roll call vote, please, Craig.
Board Member Lyons,
Yes.
Board Member Holly,
Yes.
Board Member Cook,
Yes.
Board Member DeWitt,
Yes.
Chairman Milligan,
Yes.
motion passed.
Have a surveyor write that line and then present your plan to Craig with that lot line surveyed on. Okay. Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, reports, comments? Nothing?
None.
No one?
No report.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Thank you.